Hello and thanks for joining us tonight. It is still a tense situation at Telfair State Prison tonight after the prison warden was attacked by an inmate. Cecily Stout went to the prison to check out the scene. She also talked with a man who says this act of violence is becoming the norm.
Georgia prisons are at a crisis level.
One man is recovering after being attacked by an inmate during a contraband shakedown. The Department of Corrections said the inmate used a homemade weapon.
They tear stuff apart to make these weapons. Beds, ice coolers, anything metal that they can get their hands on. They're going to make these homemade weapons, and they're going to use them.
Brian Randolph is the executive director for Human and Civil Rights Coalition of Georgia. He says this attack is the result of several other attacks at the prison.
Just bills, and then explodes. So, I really was not surprised to see that the warden was stabbed. Because it's just, we've seen this before.
The Corrections Department confirmed the warden was stabbed after prisoners wouldn't go on lockdown after the shakedown. Andrew McFarland was promoted to run the facility in June last year. A spokesperson said the warden was treated by facility medical personnel for superficial wounds and is expected to be okay. Randolph says several people reached out to him when they heard their loved ones were being gassed after the warden was stabbed. The Department of Corrections said they used, quote, less lethal munitions to get the inmates to comply with commands. Randolph says part of the problem is the lack of officers at the prison. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports 36 correctional officers are monitoring more than 1,400 of some of the most dangerous inmates.
I think it's up in the 70s, high 70s percentage of vacancies in, state of Georgia. When it comes to prisons.
Randolph says officers will call for a wellness check if they don't hear from others working their shift at the prison.
They'll then call 911 and ask 911 to send a deputy to Telfair because they can't get anybody to answer the phone.
In Telfair County, Cecily Stout, 13 WMEZ News.
Now, we are still waiting to hear back from the Department of Corrections about who attacked the warden, how many times he was stabbed, or if the lockdown has been lifted.